The front door slammed like a gunshot in the pouring Seattle rain, splintering the illusion of home into 1,000 jagged pieces. "You're dead to us. Alex, get the hell off our property before I call the cops." His father's voice boomed from inside, muffled but venomous, as if the words could pierce the storm itself. Alex stood there, 18 years old today, his backpack soaked through with more than just water. The birthday cake still half-eaten on the kitchen table where his secret had spilled out like cheap wine over white linen. He'd always known it was coming, in the way you know a toothache will turn into an abscess, slow, throbbing, inevitable. But nothing prepared him for the raw ache of it. The way his mother's silence from the hallway felt like a blade twisting deeper than his dad's rage. Alex wiped rain from his eyes, tasting salt that wasn't from the downpour, and lit a cigarette with shaking hands, the flame flickering like his resolve. The house loomed behind him, a squat brick rancher in the shadow of the Cascades, the only world he'd ever known, now a fortress against him. As the cherry glowed red against the gray, headlights sliced through the gloom from the street, a beat-up Ford pickup idling like it had been waiting for this exact moment of apocalypse. The driver, a guy about his age with a leather jacket slick as seal skin and eyes sharp as broken glass, leaned out the window. "You look like you could use a ride, kid. Or a miracle." His voice cut through the rain, warm and rough around the edges, like whiskey left too long in the barrel. Alex hesitated, the cigarette burning down to his fingers. But what the hell? Miracles were in short supply, and rides even more so. That was how he met Ryan. The truck smelled like pine air freshener and faint weed, the kind of combo that screamed, "Recently emancipated from suburbia yourself." Ryan didn't pry as they peeled away from the curb, just cranked the heat and tossed Alex a flannel shirt from the back seat that dwarfed him like a tent. "Name's Ryan." "You got one," Alex muttered. Alex. And that was it for small talk until they hit the I-5, the wipers slapping rhythmically like a heartbeat refusing to flatline. Ryan lived in a converted warehouse loft downtown, the sort of place that screamed, starving artist with a trust fund safety net. Exposed brick, fairy lights strung over a sagging futon, and a kitchenette that doubled as a darkroom for his photography gigs. He was 20, a dropout from community college who'd turned his Nikon into a lifeline, snapping candids of the city's underbelly for local zines that paid in exposure and expired ramen. "Crash here till you figure shit out," Ryan said, handing Alex a towel and a beer from the mini-fridge. No pity in his eyes, just a quiet understanding that made Alex's chest tighten in ways he wasn't ready to unpack. That first night, they talked until the rain tapered off into a hesitant drizzle. Alex spilled it all. The closet door kicked wide open by a stupid kiss with his high school crush at a party his parents had crashed. The Bible verses hurled like grenades. The way his mom had just turned away, her rosary beads clicking like a countdown to abandonment. Ryan listened, feet kicked up on a milk crate coffee table, his laugh lines deepening when Alex cracked dark jokes about trading his soul for a dry sock. "Family's a crapshoot, man. Mine shipped me off to boarding school when I came out at 15. Said it was for my own good. Bullshit. It's always for theirs." By dawn, Alex had crashed on the futon, waking to the smell of bacon and the sound of Ryan humming some indie folk tune over the stove. It felt dangerously normal, like slipping into a life that wasn't laced with landmines. Ryan worked odd hours, hauling gear for photo shoots around the Puget Sound, and Alex tagged along when he could, fetching coffee and learning the rhythm of shutter clicks. In those stolen afternoons, Ryan's world cracked open, gritty portraits of drag queens in Capitol Hill bars, Sunsets over ferries cutting through the sound. The kind of beauty that hid in the cracks of a city that chewed people up and spat them out. Attraction hit like a rogue wave, subtle at first. The way Ryan's calloused fingers brushed Alex's when passing a lens cap, or how his green eyes lingered a beat too long over a shared cigarette on the fire escape, the Space Needle winking in the distance like a promise. Alex had kissed boys before, fumbling hookups in the back of cars that left him hollow. But Ryan was different, steady, like the bass line under a storm of guitars. One night, after a shoot in the abandoned docks where they dodged security lights and shared a flask of bourbon, Ryan pulled him close against a rusted shipping container, their breaths mingling in the salt air. "You know this isn't pity, right?" Ryan whispered, lips ghosting Alex's jaw. Alex nodded, heart hammering, and let himself drown. Their first real kiss tasted like salt and freedom, under a sky bruised purple by twilight. It escalated from there. Lazy mornings tangled in sheets that smelled like darkroom chemicals, Ryan's hands mapping Alex's skin like he was framing the perfect shot. "You're beautiful when you're unguarded," Ryan murmured once, tracing the freckles across Alex's collarbone. And Alex believed him, for the first time in his life. They built a rhythm. Ryan's gigs funding takeout Thai and secondhand vinyl. Alex picking up shifts at a coffee shop near Pike Place, slinging lattes to tourists who gawked at the fishmongers like they were exhibits. It was messy, broke-ass romance, but it was theirs. Yet shadows lingered. Alex's phone stayed dark. No calls from home, just a single postcard from his sister, Emily, slipped under the loft door one gray afternoon. "They miss you. Dad's sorry." In his way. "Come home." It was a hook baited with guilt, and Alex crumpled it, but the doubt festered. Ryan noticed. Of course, those eyes missed nothing. "You don't owe them shit," he'd say, pulling Alex into a hug that smelled like fixative and home. But Ryan had his own ghosts. Late-night calls he took in the bathroom, voice low and edged with something Alex couldn't place. "Just work," Ryan dismissed, but the lie hung between them like cigarette smoke. Months blurred into a fragile normalcy. Alex turned 19 in the loft, Ryan surprising him with a cake from the bakery down the block, chocolate with "fuck the haters" scrawled in frosting. They laughed until tears came, then made love on the floor amid scattered candles, the city humming below like a lullaby. But the hook from Emily gnawed, and one weekend, Alex borrowed Ryan's truck for a quick run home. He didn't tell Ryan the full truth, didn't want to drag him into the venom. The house looked smaller from the driveway, the lawn mowed neat as a lie. His mom answered the door, eyes red-rimmed, pulling him into a hug that felt like drowning in apology. "We've prayed. Alex. Your father. He's trying." Dad was in the den, nursing a beer, the TV droning ESPN. No handshake, just a grunt. "You look thin. City's eating you alive." They talked in circles, regret without repentance, love conditional as a bus pass. Emily hovered, whispering about college funds they'd hold for him if he came around. It was a trap, velvet-gloved, and Alex bolted before it snapped shut, heart pounding as he floored it back to Seattle. Ryan was waiting with pizza and a joint, sensing the fracture without a word. That night, they fucked like it could erase the poison, Ryan's body an anchor in the churn. But cracks spiderwebbed. Ryan's calls grew frequent, his absences stretching, overnight shoots in Portland that turned into days. Alex filled the silence with double shifts, sketching logos for local bands on napkins, dreaming of graphic design school if he could scrape the tuition. One evening, scrolling Ryan's phone while he showered, a habit born of boredom, not suspicion, Alex found the texts. "Tell him or I will. We're family." From a number labeled Joseph. Joseph's name hit like ice water. Ryan's estranged brother, the golden child who'd stayed in the closet for Dad's law firm legacy. The one Ryan had mentioned once in passing, voice bitter as burnt coffee. Joseph. The name echoed from Ryan's stories. The brother who'd ratted him out to their parents at 15, trading his siblings' safety for a pat on the back and a spot at Yale. Ryan had cut ties, but blood's a stubborn stain. Alex confronted him post-shower, towel slipping as Ryan's face drained of color. "It's nothing. He's just reaching out." Lies crumbled fast under Alex's stare, and Ryan confessed. Joseph, drowning in his own double life, married to a society girl with a ring that bought silence, now cracking under the weight. He wants forgiveness. Says he's sorry for back then. Alex's gut twisted, betrayal's echo from his own front door. "And you gonna play savior while he pretends you're not you?" The fight erupted like a flare, words flying sharp as broken bottles. "You don't get it, Alex. Family isn't disposable," Ryan shouted, face flushed. "Like yours was to you?" Alex shot back, the barb landing true. Ryan stormed out, crashing at a friend's, leaving Alex alone with the ghosts of what-ifs. Days stretched into a cold war. Texts unread, the loft echoing empty. Alex threw himself into work, inking tattoos at a shop Ryan had introduced him to, the buzz of the needle a numb him. But the ache festered, a reminder that love, like family, could evict you without notice. Reconciliation came ragged, Ryan showing up at the coffee shop on a lunch rush, eyes hollowed by regret. "I ghosted him. Told Joseph to fuck off for good." They patched with takeout and tears, bodies reconnecting in the dark. But trust was a frayed rope now, swinging precarious. Enter Joseph uninvited. A week later, tall, polished in a Burberry trench that screamed East Coast money, materializing at the loft door like a bad sequel. "Ryan, we need to talk." Alex answered instead, blocking the threshold. Joseph's eyes, mirror of Ryan's, but colder, flicked over him dismissively. "Where's my brother?" The air thickened with old wounds. Joseph pushed past, suit impeccable against the chaos of prints drying on lines. Ryan emerged from the bedroom, shirtless and stunned. "What the hell, Joe?" Brotherhood collided in hushed fury, Joseph pleading, voice cracking, "I'm dying. Liver from the pills, the booze to keep it all down. Dad's cutting me out, says it's God's judgment. I need you. For once. Lies or truth?" Ryan wavered, the pull of blood versus the man who'd rebuilt him. Alex watched, heart in his throat, as Joseph dropped the bomb. "The house, our family home in Bellevue. It's in probate. Dad's will leaves it to me, but if I go, it reverts to you. Unless you want nothing to do with us." The room spun. Bellevue, the sprawling Tudor where Ryan's childhood had fractured, same zip as Alex's rancher exile. Irony bit deep. Ryan's face warred, hate and hunger, the prodigal son tempted by inheritance. "It's tainted," he spat, but Joseph pressed, "Take it. Sell it. Burn it. But let me die knowing I fixed something." Alex slipped out, Rain slicking the streets again, the city's pulse mocking his isolation. He crashed at the tattoo shop owner's couch, mind reeling. Betrayal layered. Joseph's plea a Trojan horse. Ryan teetering on the edge of old loyalties. Days bled into standoff. Ryan called. Voice raw. I turned him away. Chose us. But doubt lingered. A third wheel in their bed. Alex dreamed of the houses. His parents' door slamming. Ryan's family manse looming like a curse. Work became salvation. A client, an old architect named Harlan, saw Alex's sketches and offered an apprenticeship. Kid, you've got fire. Don't let ghosts snuff it. It was a lifeline. Classes at night. Blueprints by day, designing spaces that sheltered instead of evicted. Climax brewed in a storm fiercer than the first. Joseph's call came at midnight, suicide watch, pills swallowed in a haze. Ryan bolted to the hospital in Tacoma, leaving Alex a note. Be back. Love you. Hours ticked like bombs. Alex paced the loft, rain lashing windows like accusations. By dawn, Ryan returned, drenched and destroyed. He's gone. Overdose. Left a letter for me, for the house. Joseph's will. Scrawled in hospital ink. The Bellevue property to Ryan. Unencumbered. With a codicil. Build something real, brother. For the ones we hurt. Grief hollowed them. Ryan folded into Alex. Sobs racking like aftershocks. He betrayed me first. But, fuck, he was my blood. Alex held him through the vigil. Funeral a farce, distant relatives in pearls. Dad's absence a gaping wound. They drove to Bellevue post-cremation. Joseph's ashes in a tin on the dash. The house was a relic. Vaulted ceilings echoing emptiness. Gardens choked with weeds. Ryan handed Alex the keys. It's ours now. If you want it. But betrayal's echo demanded reckoning. Alex's own ghost stirred. A letter from home. Emily's handwriting shaky. Dad's sick. Cancer. Wants to see you before. The pull ward with the push. Love's ledger unbalanced. Ryan, sensing it, drove them to Alex's childhood rancher instead. The door opened to his mother's frail form. Dad in a recliner, oxygen hissing like confessions overdue. Son, Dad rasped, eyes wet. I was wrong. Scared. Let me make it right. Words too late, but human, flawed, reaching. Alex didn't forgive easy. Tears came anyway. Ryan stood sentinel, hand in his, a bridge over the chasm. Back in Bellevue, they gutted the place, walls down, light in. Alex's designs breathed life. Open kitchen for shared meals. A studio for Ryan's darkroom. A garden reclaiming wild. No sale, ownership as reclamation. Pride swelled, not in bricks, but in the man beside him, scarred, steadfast. Years layered like patina. The house became haven. Parties with queer chosen family. Emily visiting with her kid on hip. Bridges mending slow. Ryan's photos hung gallery walls. Alex's firm rising on sustainable builds. Love deepened. Rings exchanged on a ferry deck at sunset. Vows whispered over waves. Betrayal's sting faded to scar. A reminder. Homes aren't given. They're claimed. Brick by bloody brick. In the end, Alex stood on the porch. Coffee steaming in November chill. Ryan's arm warm around his waist. The cascades loomed. Eternal witnesses. Kicked out once, but owners now of house, heart, horizon. Human frailty forged unbreakable. Love, the ultimate deed. The rain had finally quit, leaving Seattle slick and shimmering under a sky that promised mercy but delivered only slate-gray teas. Alex leaned against the balcony railing, nursing a black coffee that tasted more like regret than roast, watching fairies slice the sound like dull knives through fog. It had been 3 months since the loft became theirs, since Ryan's haphazard prints migrated from milk crates to actual shelves Alex had built from salvaged pallet wood. 3 months of playing house in a space that still smelled faintly of developer fluid and takeout grease, but damn if it didn't feel like progress. Ryan emerged from the bathroom, towel turban style on his damp curls, wearing nothing but boxers that rode low on his hips, freckles dusting his shoulders like cinnamon on toast. You brooding again? Or is that just your face's default setting now? He grinned, that lopsided thing that crinkled his eyes and made Alex's stomach flip like a kid on a first Ferris wheel ride. Alex set the mug down, pulling him close by the waistband, inhaling the clean scent of Irish Spring undercut with something uniquely Ryan earthy. Electric. Just thinking about the shop, Alex lied smoothly, though his mind was miles away, tangled in the what-ifs of that postcard from Emily. Ryan's hands roamed, callous thumbs tracing the dip of Alex's spine, a map he'd memorized in the dark. Bullshit. It's the house call, isn't it? Mom's got that tone, like she's dialing from the edge of a cliff. Ryan's voice dipped low. No judgment, just the quiet knowing that came from sharing too many midnights dissecting family fallout. Alex sighed, forehead thunking against Ryan's collarbone. She says Dad's asking questions. About me. About us. The word hung, fragile as rice paper. It was still new, that pronoun wrapping around them like a too-big coat, comforting, but prone to slipping off shoulders. Ryan tilted his chin up with a finger, green eyes steady as evergreen boughs. And? You want to go back? Stir the pot. No. Hell no. Alex's laugh was bitter, edged with the memory of that slammed door, the rain pooling at his sneakers like accusatory tears. But it's like, what if they're finally cracking? What if I let him in and it's just another round of pray the gay away? Ryan's grip tightened, a silent vow. Then we bolt. Together. I've got your back, Alex. Always. They kissed then, slow and deep, the kind that started as comfort and ignited into hunger, bodies pressing urgent against the railing until the neighbor's wind chimes clinked a polite interruption. Mornings like that fueled the grind. Ryan had a shoot lined up in the U District, portraits for a queer poetry collective, all tattoos and thrift store chic against the brick of old frat houses. Alex dropped him off, the truck's radio humming NPR's Pledge Drive, and peeled toward the coffee shop on First Avenue. The place was a dive called Been There, Done That, sticky counters, baristas with more piercings than personality, and a clientele that ran the gamut from hungover tech bros to wide-eyed runaways nursing their first Americano. Alex's station was behind the espresso machine, a beast that hissed like it had opinions, and today it was slinging drinks to a line that snaked to the door. Mid-rush, the bell tinkled, and in walked Harlan, the architect who'd become an unlikely mentor over the last few weeks. 60s, salt and pepper beard trimmed neat, always in Carhartt jackets that smelled like sawdust and possibility. Large drip, black as my ex's soul. Harlan gruffed, sliding a dog-eared notebook across the counter. Inside, sketches of modular tiny homes, eco-builds for the unhoused, Alex's hand evident in the clean lines and sustainable flourishes. Saw your stuff from the other night. Kid, you've got an eye. Ever think about drafting full-time? Alex frothed milk on autopilot. Heart skipping. Thought about it. Tuition's a bitch. Though. Harlan waved it off, paying with a 10 and a wink. Communities got grants for queers like us. Apply. Hell. Intern with me first, unpaid. But you'll eat. It was a crack in the door. Sunlight spilling on the dim path of barista drudgery. Alex pocketed the notebook like contraband, buzzing through the shift on that high, tips jingling in his apron like tiny victories. Pickup was at dusk. Ryan waiting curbside with a portfolio slung over his shoulder, hair wind-tousled from the breeze off Lake Union. Nailed it. Got a callback for a gallery show, queer icons or some shit. Pride swelled in Alex's chest, vicarious and visceral. They celebrated with street pho from a cart near the market, broth steaming against the chill, chopsticks clacking as they swapped stories. Ryan's tales of poets reciting verses about rim jobs and revolution, Alex's of Harlan's wild ideas for floating houseboats. Laughter bridged the gaps, but as they walked back to the truck, Ryan's phone buzzed. Unknown number. Tacoma area code. He silenced it, but Alex caught the flicker in his jaw. Joseph. The name dropped like a stone in still water. Ryan's nod was tight. Yeah. Third time this week. Voicemails about family reconciliation retreats. Some church camp crap. Alex's gut clenched, the foe turning leaden. Joseph, the specter, the betrayer who'd sold Ryan out for a gold star from their Bible Belt parents, now circling like a shark scenting blood. Block him. Or let me answer next time. Tell him to eat shit. Ryan's laugh was hollow. Tempting. But what if he's for real? People change, right? Like your folks might be. The drive home was quiet, city lights streaking like accusations. In the loft, tension simmered into sex, fierce, reclaiming, nails raking backs as if to etch permanence. Afterward, tangled in sheets, Ryan traced lazy circles on Alex's thigh. I love you. You know that? Not in spite of the mess with it. Alex swallowed the lump, whispering back, ditto, but sleep evaded, Joseph's ghost whispering doubts in the dark. The weekend brought a fragile peace, a hike up Rattlesnake Ledge, backpack stuffed with PB and JS and a thermos of spiked cocoa. The trail wound steep through evergreens, roots snaking like veins underfoot, the reward a vista of the sound glittering like shattered glass under weak sun. They collapsed at the overlook, Ryan snapping candids, Alex mid-laugh, wind whipping his hoodie, the kind of shot that captured unguarded joy. This is it, Ryan said, pocketing the camera. Moments like these, they're the real inheritance. Alex leaned into him, the world dropping away. Yeah. Screw the houses, the drama. We've got this. But prophecy's a cruel jester. Monday's mail brought the postcard sequel. Emily's script boulder. Dad's in remission talks. Please, Alex. One dinner. Ryan found him staring at it on the futon. Jaw set. Go if you need to. I'll hold the fort. His support was steel. But Alex saw the strain, the way Joseph's calls chipped at his armor. The drive to the rancher was a blur of evergreens blurring into subdivisions, Alex's knuckles white on the wheel. The house squatted unchanged, siding peeling like old skin, his mom's minivan in the drive with a Jesus Saves bumper sticker that now read like a threat. She hugged him on the stoop. bird-boned and perfumed in Chanel No. 5 knockoff. Tears instant. Oh, honey. You look so grown. Inside, the air was thick with pot roast and piety. Dad at the table in his lazy boy flannel. Chemo gaunt but eyes softer. Dinner was a minefield. Small talk about Emily's baby, the neighbor's divorce, skirting the elephant until Dad cleared his throat. Alex. About that night. I was angry. Scared for your soul. The words landed like half apologies, laced with scripture. Alex's fork scraped ceramic. Scared for your reputation. You mean? Mom gasped. Dad flushed. But then, miracle of miracles, he nodded. That too. I failed you. Can we try? It wasn't absolution, but a door ajar, light seeping. Alex left with a tentative hug, heart lighter, texting Ryan from the road. Weird, but okay. Miss you. Ryan's welcome home was arms open, but his phone lit up mid-embrace, Joseph again. This time, he answered, voice clipped. What, bro? Alex watched from the kitchenette, tension coiling as Ryan's face darkened. No. Not now. I'm done. He hung up, tossing the phone like it burned. Says Dad's sick too, prostate. Wants a family summit. In Bellevue, the irony twisted knife-sharp. Alex crossed the room, cupping his face. Your call. But whatever, we're a team. That night, they planned escape. Road trip south. Big Sur maybe. Cliffs and crashing waves to wash clean. But Joseph's persistence eroded. Flowers delivered to the shop. A letter pleading one meeting. For old times. Ryan wavered, confiding over midnight burgers. He was my hero once. Before the betrayal, Alex's chest ached with echo. Heroes fall. Doesn't make you weak to let go. The breaking point came unannounced. Joseph at the loft door. Rain-slicked in khakis and a polo that screamed reformed sinner. Eyes red from crying or cunning. Ryan, please. 5 minutes. Ryan let him in. A mistake Alex saw unfolding like a slow-mo wreck. Words tumbled. Joseph's marriage crumbling. Wife's ultimatum, choose us or them. His own coming out imploding the firm. I get it now. What I did to you. Let me make amends. Ryan's walls cracked. Tears tracking. Amends? You destroyed me. Joseph sobbed, clutching a manila envelope. Then take this. The house papers, Dad's prenup loophole. It's yours if you sign. Sell it. Spite him. Temptation dangled. Poisoned fruit. Alex interjected. Voice steel. He doesn't need your guilt money. Joseph's gaze sharpened. Dismissive. And you are? The reason he breathes free. Alex shot back. The air crackled. Joseph's laugh brittle. Love? That's what you call it? Ryan, this kid's a rebound. Come home. Where you belong. Betrayal sliced fresh. Not just Joseph's words, but Ryan's silence. A beat too long. Get out. Ryan finally growled, shoving the envelope back. Joseph left with a parting shot. You'll regret it. Blood's thicker. The door clicked shut, and the dam broke. Ryan raging, punching the wall till knuckles split. Alex pulling him down to the floor in a heap of limbs and laments. He's wrong. We're real, Alex murmured, kissing bloodied fingers. Ryan clung, whispering, I know. God, I know. But the seed of doubt rooted. Joseph's poison seeping. Autumn crept in like a thief, painting the warehouse district in rust and gold, leaves skittering across cracked asphalt like confetti from a funeral no one attended. Alex woke to the loft's single window streaked with condensation. Ryan's side of the futon cool and empty. Another early shoot, this one for a zine profiling trans elders in the Central District. The absence gnawed. A low hum under Alex's skin, amplified by Joseph's lingering echo. He brewed coffee strong enough to strip paint, scrolling job listings on his cracked phone. Junior drafter at a firm in Belltown. Entry-level bliss if he nailed the portfolio. Harlan's apprenticeship was a godsend. 2 evenings a week in a cluttered studio above a hardware store. Blueprints unfurling like secrets on drafting tables scarred by decades of dreams. Perspectives, everything. Kid. Harlan grunted, showing Alex how to layer elevations with cross-hatching that evoked depth without clutter. Like life, focus on the foreground, but never forget the horizon. Alex nodded, pencil flying, transforming Joseph's intrusion into fuel. Sketches of queer-friendly co-ops, safe houses with panic rooms disguised as wine cellars. Harlan clapped his shoulder post-session. That's it. Raw. Real. Submit to the AIA Young Architects Contest. Could change everything. Boyd. Alex texted Ryan a photo of his latest render. A modular home unfolding like origami. Solar panels glinting. Reply buzzed instant. Killer. Dinner at my fave taqueria? 7. The normalcy soothed. A bomb on the bruise. They met amid the mariachi horns blaring from neon-lit trucks. Al Pastor tacos dripping with pineapple heat. Ryan's knee bumping Alex's under the plastic tablecloth. Gallery shows locked. Opening next month. You in as my +1. Ryan's eyes sparkled. Mischief laced with nerves. Alex grinned. Lime juice sharp on his lips. Only if you wear that leather jacket. Makes your ass look illegal. Laughter flowed easy. But as they walked off the carbs along the waterfront, Ryan's phone vibrated. Insistent, like a hornet trapped in amber. He glanced. Sighed. Joseph again. Voicemail. Alex's appetite for seconds vanished. Delete it. Or play it. Rip the Band-Aid. Ryan hesitated, thumb hovering, then hit play on speaker. Joseph's voice crackled. Polished desperation. Is bad. Dad's staging an intervention. Flying in tomorrow. The house. The will. It's all leverage now. Meet me at the old diner off 520. Noon. For you. Click. The ferry horn wailed distant. Mournful. Ryan's face was a storm cloud. Intervention? For what? Loving who I love. Alex's hand found his. Squeezing. Classic deflection. He's dying inside. Wants to drag you down. Ryan pulled away, pacing the pier's edge, waves lapping like whispers. But the house. It's not just bricks. It's Mom's garden, the attic where we hid comics. If I sign, it's gone forever. Conflict etched deep, loyalty's war, blood versus bond. Alex's own fractures mirrored. Emily's texts ramping. Dad's chemo round 2. He asks about your art. Guilt's tide pulled, but Ryan's turmoil amplified it. Go, Alex urged, voice steady despite the quake. Hear him out. But set boundaries like steel-reinforced ones. Ryan searched his eyes, then nodded, pulling him into a salt-kissed kiss. You're my anchor, Alex. Don't forget, they parted with promises. But sleep that night was fitful, Joseph's phantom pacing the loft's corners. Noon found Ryan at the diner, a relic off the floating bridge, formica counters chipped, coffee burnt as grudges. Joseph waited in a booth, suit rumpled, tie askew like a noose loosened. You came, relief warred with wariness in his tone. Ryan slid in opposite, arms crossed. 5 minutes. Clocks ticking. Joseph exhaled, sliding the envelope across, legal docs crisp, notary seal gleaming. Sign, and it's yours. Dad's bluffing with the intervention. He's scared you'll expose his perfect son charade. Ryan's fingers twitched toward the pen, then retracted. Expose? Like you did me? Ratting to mom and dad at 15. So you could play straight-A saint. Joseph's face crumpled, authenticity cracking the facade. I was a kid, terrified. Wanted their approval more than air. But now, my wife's filing, kids calling me the liar. It's karma. Let me unload this weight. Vulnerability hung, raw as an exposed wire. Ryan's resolve wavered, the brothers' plea-piercing armor forged in years of exile. Back at the loft by dusk, Ryan burst in, envelope clutched like a grenade. I didn't sign. Told him to shove it up his ass. Politely, laughter bubbled, relief flooding, but his eyes were haunted. He broke. Alex cried about mom dying young. How he promised her he'd keep us together. Alex pulled him down, hands gentle on trembling shoulders. Doesn't excuse the knife in your back. Ryan nodded into his neck, breath hitching. I know. But what if forgiveness isn't weakness? The question lingered, seeding debates over late-night whiskeys, philosophy laced with personal poison. Alex countered with his own thaw. I'm seeing them. Dinner next week. Neutral ground. A diner. Not home. Ryan toasted that, pride mingling with fear. Brave as hell. Text me if it goes south. I'll ride in like a queer night. Their love-making that night was tender, exploratory. Fingers and lips charting forgiveness's terrain. Bodies affirming what words couldn't. Harlan's studio became Alex's sanctuary. Drafts evolving into proposals. Haven House. A blueprint for transitional housing. LGBTQ+ focused. With communal gardens and therapy spaces. This could win, Harlan rumbled, adjusting a beamline. But enter it. Own your story. Alex did. Submitting under the wire, heart pounding as the email whooshed away. Ryan celebrated with rooftop beers, fairy lights twinkling like co-conspirators. To us, kicking ass despite the assholes, but Joseph's shadow lengthened. Package arrived. Overnight. No return address. A keyring from the Bellevue house. Engraved Brothers Forever. And a note. One last chance. Summits tomorrow. I'll leave the back gate open. Ryan stared. He biting palm. He's relentless. Alex's hackles rose. Change the locks on your heart. Man. This is manipulation 101. Ryan pocketed it. But the doubt festered. Manifesting in distracted kisses. Late nights scrolling old family photos on a burner account. Emily's dinner loomed. Alex stealing with Ryan's borrowed jacket leather shield. The spot was a Denny's knockoff in Renton. Fluorescent hum and vinyl booths a great equalizer. Parents arrived early. Mom in a cardigan soft as her smile. Dad hunched but eyes clear. You look good, son, Dad said. No preamble. Menu trembling in arthritic hands. Small talk skirted. Weather. Work. Emily's promotion. Then, over grand slams, we're seeing a counselor. For everything. Mom's voice quavered. We were wrong. Alex. Bigoted. Scared. Tears pricked. But Alex held ground. It hurt. Deep. Dad nodded. Voice gravel. I know. Cancer's a bitch, makes you face mirrors. I don't deserve forgiveness, but I'd like to earn it. Slowly. It was human. Messy, no hallmark bow. Just steps on a long road. Alex left lighter. Texting Ryan. Not fixed, but moving. Your turn. Reply. At the gate. Literally. Ryan had gone to the summit. Joseph's bait too sharp. Alex's blood ran cold. Hailing a lift across the lake. Arriving as dusk bled to night. The Bellevue house was lit like a stage. Tudor gables looming Gothic. Back gate ajar. Voices drifting. Joseph's plea. Dad's bluster. Come home, boy. This phase'll pass. Ryan's voice. Edged. Phase? This is me. Love him or lose me. Alex slipped in. Heart thunder. Finding them in the den, leather club chairs. Fireplace crackling accusations. Dad's face purpled at the intrusion. Who the hell? Ryan stood. Fierce. Alex. My partner. Joseph's eyes widened. Calculating. The rebound kid. Chaos erupted, Dad lunging verbal. Slurs flying like spittle. Joseph intervening. Crocodile tears. Ryan grabbed Alex's hand. Bolting for the door. But Dad's roar halted. Sign or you're cut off forever. The envelope slapped the mantel. Pen extended. Ryan's hand shook. Gaze locking Alex's. Question. Plea. Betrayal's precipice. No, Ryan whispered, tearing the docs to confetti. I choose life. Us. They fled into the night. Tires screeching. Laughter hysterical amid sobs. Joseph's call chased. You'll regret. But in the truck's cab. Hands clasped over gearshift. Regret was impossibility. Back in Seattle. They burned the curing in the sink. Flames dancing defiant. To new chapters. Ryan toasted with tap water. Alex pulled him close. Whispering. Ours. But dawn brought Harlan's email. Haven House, finalist. Presentation next week. Triumph tempered by trial's aftershocks. Joseph's final gambit loomed. But together, they were fortress. Winter's grip tightened on the city like a jealous lover, frosting the sound's edges and turning breaths to ghosts in the air. Alex's finalist nod for Haven House buzzed like caffeine through his veins. Harlan drilling him on metrics, square footage yields, carbon offsets, ROI for social good, in a studio now cluttered with foam core models and takeout detritus. Nail the pitch, Harlan coached, pacing in wool socks. It's not just architecture, it's testimony. Tell 'em why. Alex nodded. Script memorized. Eviction's sting fueling shelter's design. Love's resilience in every load-bearing wall. Ryan threw himself into the gallery prep, matting prints till his fingers cramped. The loft a cyclone of archival tape and critique notes. Too raw? He'd ask, holding a black and white of Alex asleep, vulnerable in dawn light. Nah, Alex countered, kissing his temple. It's truth, their rhythm held, fortified by Joseph's silence, radio quiet post-confrontation, a victory pyre. But Emily's updates trickled. Dad's scans clear. Family therapy sessions where acceptance was the homework. They're trying, she wrote. Proud of you. The presentation loomed mid-December. AIA chapter in a glass-walled hall downtown. Suits mingling with hipster architects nursing IPAs. Alex arrived in his one blazer, thrifted, tailored by Ryan's steady hands, nerves jangling like loose change. Harlan flanked him, grizzled anchor. Breathe. You've got this. The room hushed as Alex took the podium, projector humming alive with renders. Haven unfolding, inclusive, unbreakable. This isn't abstract, he began, voice steady. It's born from being kicked out at 18 for loving men. From finding family in the margins. It's homes that hold, no matter the storm. Slides flowed, data on housing insecurity for queer youth, testimonials from runaways he'd interviewed at the shop. Eyes locked, judges nodding, a murmur of resonance. Q&A probed, scalability, funding. Alex fielded smooth, Harlan beaming from the wings. Verdict dropped post-break, highly commended. Funding seed grant attached. Applause thundered. Alex's chest bursting validation, not just ink on paper. Ryan waited in the lobby. Flowers pilfered from a display, daisies, defiant. My architect, he murmured, spinning him into a dip kiss amid cheers. Celebration spilled into Capitol Hill. Dive bar crawl, shots of well tequila burning paths to possibility. Harlan joined, toasting to the queers who build back better. Ryan's hand anchored Alex's through the haze, whispers laced with heat. Proud doesn't cover it. Let's get home. Kristen that grant. The loft welcomed with fairy lights aglow. Bodies colliding in joyous reclaim. Slow at first, reverent, then frantic. Walls shaking testimony to survival's thrill. But elation's hangover brought Joseph's resurgence. New Year's Eve. A knock at midnight, not revelry, but reckoning. Joseph on the threshold, gaunt in overcoat, eyes hollowed by hollows. Don't slam it, he begged. Foot in door. Ryan stiffened, Alex rising from the futon like a sentinel. What now? Dad disown you too? Joseph's laugh was ghost. Worse. He's contesting the will. Says I'm unfit. You abandoned. House in limbo. Lawyers circling. Ryan's face shuddered. Not my circus. But Joseph pressed. Voice cracking. It is. Mom's heirloom quilts in the attic. Your baby pictures. Let me broker neutral ground. One meeting. Temptation's whisper. Familial siren. Alex's gut rebelled. We've built without it. Keep walking. Joseph turned pleading eyes on him. You don't get it. This house. It's our tether. Without it, we're adrift. Ryan wavered, hand twitching. One meeting. Diner again. No docs. Alex's protest died unspoken, trust's tightrope. The meet was set for Epiphany. Ironic Saints' Day. Ryan prepped with restless energy. Pacing rants. It's closure, not capitulation. Alex nodded, masking unease. Burying in grant paperwork, site visits to potential builds. Budgets ballooning hope. Emily called that week. Voice tentative. Parents want to host. Small dinner. You and Ryan. The invitation landed soft. Progress's pedal. Yeah, Alex said. We'll come. The diner redux was déjà vu in grease-scented air. Joseph early with coffee rings under eyes. Dad arrived late. Cane thumping. Face a map of regrets etched deep. Boys. The word encompassed. Tentative bridge. Talk circled. Health updates. Weather as icebreaker. Then Dad, the house. It's more than asset. It's legacy. Sign with Ryan. Joseph. Keep it family. Joseph's nod was eager, pen poised. Ryan leaned forward, voice low thunder. Legacy? Like the one where you shipped me off for reparative therapy? Or when Joseph snitched to buy your favor? Silence swallowed, Dad's knuckles whitening on cane. I failed. Both of you. But blood. Ryan cut. Blood don't mean belonging. I built mine with Alex. With art. Keep your tutor trap. Joseph's face fractured. Please. I'm sorry. For the betrayal. For everything. Let me fix. Tears genuine. Perhaps humanity's messy core. Ryan stood. Chair scraping judgment. Fix yourself first. He walked out. Alex a ghost in the booth? No, waiting in the truck. Engine idling solidarity. Debrief over drive-through fries. Ryan's hands shook peeling salt. Felt good. Final. Alex squeezed thigh. Proud. But Joseph's text chased. Dad's collapsing the deal. Last chance. Tonight. House. Bait too rich. Ryan deleted. But sleep evaded. Legacy's lure gnawing. Their parents' dinner was bomb. Rancher kitchen steamy with lasagna. Emily's toddler smearing sauce like war paint. Mom fussed plates. Dad at head with awkward grace. Ryan, he extended hand. Firm. Heard about the photos. Impressive. Ryan shook. Surprise softening edges. Talk flowed halting. Alex's grant. Ryan's show. Shared laughs over toddler antics. Dessert brought Dad's toast. To new starts. No conditions. Tears rimmed eyes, collective catharsis. Wounds cauterizing slow. Post-dinner drive glowed. Ryan's head on Alex's shoulder at a red. Your families. Thawing. Alex hummed. Ours. But home's porch light beckoned Joseph's ambush. Envelope under wiper. Final offer. Full title to Ryan. Signed by Dawn. Ryan's curse fogged glass. He's desperate. Alex snatched it, tearing to snow. So are we, for peace. Dawn brought decision. Ryan called Joseph. Voice steel. Burn it. We're done. Click. Relief flooded. But Joseph's retaliation brewed. Call to Ryan's gallery. Don't exhibit my brother's deviant work, he's unstable. Whispers rippled. Show jeopardized. Ryan's rage boiled. That fucker. Alex's followed. Fight it. Sue if needed. Climax crested that week. Gallery opening night. Space packed with glitterati and grit. Prints glowing under spots. Joseph crashed. Suit sharp as shivs. Dad trailing reluctant. This is beneath you, Joseph hissed to Ryan amid murmurs. Come home. Ryan faced him. Alex at flank. Home's wherever he is. Dad interjected. Voice quaver. Son. Joseph's right. This life's poison. Betrayal doubled. Father's echo of old venom. The room hushed. Eyes on fray. Ryan's voice rose. Mic'd from demo. Poison? Try the hate you peddled. These photos? Their antidote, love, loss, light in the dark. He launched into a portrait series. Brothers estranged. Lovers reclaimed. Houses haunted and healed. Crowd riveted. Joseph's face ashen. Dad sagged, whispering, Forgive me. But Joseph lunged verbal. You're ruining us. Alex stepped forward. Voice clear. Us? You mean your facade. Ryan's free. Security edged in, but Ryan waved off, turning to Dad. Go. Heal elsewhere. They left, tails tucked, gallery erupting applause. Ryan pulled Alex on stage. Kiss defiant amid flashes. Love's manifesto. Aftermath. Show sold out. Reviews raving visceral queer Americana. Joseph's silence golden. Dad's letter arrived. Apology handwritten. Therapy pledge. Emily mediated. He's broken, but mending. Ryan pocketed it. Unopened for now. Haven House broke ground spring. Alex overseeing pour. Ryan snapping time-lapse. Their loft evolved, plants greening corners. A shared desk for dreams. Love deepened. Rings pondered in quiet moments. Betrayal scars? Faint lines. Stories etched. Human arc. From eviction to empire. One defiant brick at a time. Spring erupted in riot. Cherry blossoms papering sidewalks pink. The sound thawing to sapphire under tentative sun. Groundbreaking for Haven House was a spectacle. Hard hats and hard-won grants. City councilor in ill-fitting vest wielding golden shovel. Press snapping for the post-intelligencer. Alex stood front. Mud-caking boots. Ryan's Nikon capturing the slice into earth, literal foundation for futures unmoored. This is you, Ryan murmured post-ceremony. Arm slung casual but grip fierce. From kicked-out kid to cornerstone. The words landed warm, but Alex's mind wandered to the mail pile. Dad's letter, still sealed. A paper phoenix in the junk drawer. Emily's latest. He's asking for photos of you too. Smiling ones. Thaws trickle. But Alex resisted, prioritizing the poor, concrete trucks rumbling hymns to stability. Harlan mentored fierce. Site visits turning to strategy sessions. Scale it. Franchise to Portland. Maybe SF. Ambition ignited. Alex's portfolio swelling with commissions, Queer Center in Tacoma. Ecoloft Renas for displaced artists. Ryan's momentum mirrored. Gallery buzz birthed a book deal. Fractured frames. Intimate diptychs of exile and embrace. Signings at Elliott Bay. Fans queuing with stories echoing theirs. Your shot of the rainy porch? That's my eviction. Frame for frame. Ryan signed with flourish. Alex beaming wingman. But Joseph's specter flickered in Q&As. Family reconciliation? A journo probed. Ryan's pause. Then, families chosen. Blood's optional. The question unearthed the letter that night. Post-reading whiskey haze. Ryan found Alex in the kitchenette. Envelope eviscerated on counter. Read it. Alex nodded. Voice thick. He's in rehab booze. Pills. The works. Says Joseph's cut him off too. Wants. At the house. For a tour. No strings. Ryan's brow furrowed. Trap? Maybe. But closure. Debate stretched till stars wheeled. Deciding dawn drive neutral. Daylight. Escape hatch primed. Bellevue dawned crisp. The Tudor stirring ghosts. Ivy cloaked. Porch swing creaking welcome. Dad answered. Gaunt but glowing rehab ruddy. Flannel crisp. Boys. Come in. No cane. Just open palm, handshake to Ryan tentative. Then sure. Tour unfolded awkward. Kitchen where mom baked pecan pies. Attic comics yellowed but intact. Joseph's absence noted. Dad's wince. He's in Boston. Lawyering aggressive. Contesting everything. Bitterness laced. But then, I was him once. Blind. Lunch on the patio. Sandwiches from a deli. Birdsong buffering. Dad cleared throat. The will is yours, Ryan. Uncontested now. Sell. Stay. Whatever. But no, I see you. Both. Tears tracked his cheeks. Unashamed. Ryan's throat bobbed. Thanks. For trying. No full forgiveness, but Grace's seed planted. They left with quilts folded gentle. Dad's hug lingering, human bridge. Wobbly but weight-bearing. Back in Seattle, the quilts warmed the futon. Threads weaving past to present. Emily visited soon after. Toddler in tow. Parents trailing diffident. Dinner at the loft. Pasta from a kit. Wine cheap but flowing. Awkward thawed to anecdotes. Dad chuckling at Ryan's fairy tales. Mom cooing over Alex's models. Beautiful work, she said, fingers tracing a render. Like you. Vulnerability cracked her facade. Admission's quiet power. Joseph's countermove struck summer solstice. Subpoena for Ryan's alienation of affection. Frivolous suit claiming the book defamed. House leverage. Lawyers circled. Alex's grant funds dipping for retainers. He's unraveling. Ryan fumed in the attorney's glass tower, overlooking the monorail's loop. Desperate to drag us down. Verdict loomed. Stress etching new lines. Sleepless nights. Appetites AWOL. Alex countered with dates. Kayaks on Green Lake. Paddle strokes sinking breath. Bonfires at Discovery Park. Stars pricking the marine layer. Climax crested court day. Humid July trapping sweat in collars. Courthouse loomed federal stern. Joseph's team polished vipers. He sat rows back. Ice feral. Dad absent, neutrality's cost. Ryan testified raw. Betrayal? That's Joseph's patent. My work heals. His hurts. Alex's deposition followed. Love didn't alienate. It liberated. Judge's gavel fell swift. Dismissed. Sanctions on Joseph for bad faith. Lobby erupted hugs. Ryan's laugh breaking free. We're bulletproof. Joseph's aftermath. Breakdowns splash tabloids. Disbarment whispers. Retreat to a clinic in the Keys. Dad mediated one last call. He's sorry. In pieces. Ryan hung up soft. Let him rebuild solo. The house deed arrived FedEx. Ryan's name etched official. They drove out. He's heavy. Debating fate. Burn it, Alex teased. Ryan grinned. Nah. Flip it. Fund Haven expansions. Auction fetched premium. Proceeds seeding satellite sites, one in Bellevue. Ironic reclamation. Fall foliage framed Haven's ribbon cut. First residents, youths with backpacks like Alex's old one, crossing thresholds to cheers. Ryan's lens captured tears and triumphs. Book sequel brewing. Alex's firm bloomed. Harlan partner now. Projects stacking. A community center with drag stage acoustics. Tiny home villages for the evicted. Parents integrated slow. Holidays at the rancher. Dad's chair reserved at gallery openings. Mom's quilts on Haven beds. Their anniversary. Year 2 since that rainy ride. Unfolded on a ferry to Bainbridge. Rings slipped simple. Silver bands engraved anchor. Vows amid swells. Through betrayals. Builds. All. Love's evolution. From spark to hearth. Dramatic embers banked steady. One night. Porch swing on their new Belltown walk-up. Proceeds perk. Ryan's head on Alex's lap. From kicked out to this. Proud owner of everything. Alex traced jawline. Stars wheeling above. Us. Human tapestry. Conflicts warp. Romances weft. woven resilient. No tidy bows, life's not script, but endings earned, houses held, hearts homesteaded. In America's sprawl, they stood, unevicted, unbreakable.